Gainesville Modern is an organization that's dedicated to preserving mid-century modern architectural resources in Gainesville. The mid-century modern is a departure from a lot of the traditional architecture. There's much less ornamentation, much more emphasis on straight lines, balance. We have a few examples in Gainesville of experimentation with different roof lines, such as folded plane or a butterfly roof. For our Florida environment, there was a lot of use of something called screen block, which is that concrete block that you see has patterns in the holes in it that allows for ventilation, but it can also be structural. And there was a lot of play between indoors and outdoors that worked really well in Gainesville and in Florida.
It's really fascinating. The boomtown for Gainesville was when all of the soldiers returned from World War II. They had the GI Bill. Gainesville went from kind of a small, sleepy town to exponential growth. If you go downtown and you look at the what's now the Bo Diddley Plaza, architect Harry Merritt designed that. It was originally very modern, very sleek. If you look at the buildings around there, City Hall was Dan Branch and David Reeves. If you look at the courthouse, it's a brutalist mid-century modern building that Craig Salley did. And we had a really amazing Alachua County administration building that was done by Arthur Campbell. It became kind of this defining style of architecture and period where we just grew so much and so many people were building in that style that it really defines who Gainesville became.
There was a transition in America to really America becoming much more involved in the modernism movement in architecture. That trickled down and became more evident in the architecture that was being produced here. Since we have a College of Architecture right here, that made Gainesville a very unique place in a tropical setting, one of the only places in the United States where we have this tropical environment to deal with, and it made for some really great architecture for a town of our size.
In 2013, the University of Florida was hosting a student conference for preservationists. Clarissa Carr and I came up with the idea of doing kind of a mid-century modern tour. We had 125 people the first year. Fast forward to 2019 and we had 550 people on the tour. It's been exciting to see how much people enjoy seeing those houses, but unfortunately with COVID, things changed. So we pivoted into virtual for the first time. It was really fascinating because over the years I've had numerous people say, I'd love to have my house on the tour, but I just don't feel comfortable having that many people come through. And we launched it in November, and it's a tour from home, and it's 6 homes and 1 condo. Gaineswood is the condo that we would never be able to go in. It's a gated community, perfect example of something that's a real gem in our community, but people don't know about. So having the video, being able to view that, it's allowed us to bring that to more people than probably we've ever had.
What we're looking at now are ways that we can continue to offer our online tour that's available through Vimeo and through our website so that people beyond Gainesville can see how incredible the architecture is here and learn from what our organization has done to preserve those resources. We're looking at possibly doing more digital tours in the future. Many of us would love to see our in-person tour come back again. I've had a lot of inquiries about that. And then as Gainesville moves forward as a city, we want to continue to make sure that preservation has a role in the future of the city, that we recognize it as a significant benefit to our city to preserve these resources and make sure that that has a place in city government.
I'm a realtor. When people come to me to help save their terrazzo floors, you know, it's really hard to know when you're maybe a first-time home buyer how to handle that kind of situation. So having a resource for craftspeople that can help you maintain your house and keep its value has been really important. From an organizational perspective, Gainesville Modern has taught a number of people that, hey, these buildings are worth keeping. You know, there's always kind of a downward pressure on older buildings to adapt or become obsolete, and so we want to really help people appreciate it and keep it because it's a very unique structure, style that defines Gainesville in our past.
I feel like we have a community of strong supporters that recognize that these homes have value. They're a beautiful representation of that exciting post-World War II time for our town and for our country. So I feel like Gainesville has a really great community of architectural supporters.
So in the past, we've had Drinks and Dwellings, which is our kind of VIP party that launches the week. It's always hosted at one of our more intimate kind of settings, and it's at a Harry Merritt house, at a David Reeves house, house, all with about 150 people. So the drinks and dwellings is the night before the mid-century modern home tour, and then the home tour itself is usually about 6 or 7 houses throughout Gainesville, kind of spread out. It's a do-it-yourself tour, so you can start at any one house that you would like, and then we have information and poster boards describing the houses, what makes them mid-century modern, the features, the architect.
We invite everyone to go check out our website and see what the latest is going on with the organization. That is where you will find a link to purchase access to the digital tour online, as well as there's a lot of resources there, the nuts and bolts kind of resources if you have a mid-century home, access to craftsmen and materials that you'll need to know about. We're looking forward to having more in-person meetings and gatherings in the future. Those will be announced on Instagram and Facebook. And we welcome anyone who has an appreciation of mid-century modern architecture to join us in preserving that architecture here in Gainesville and celebrating it.